Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Pilot Allah from the GMS London camp, coming back at you again with truth. And this is simply entitled Satan Divided. So I'm going to get right into this. This is Luke 11:14. And he was casting out a devil, and it was dumb. And it came to pass, when the devil was gone out, the dumb spake, and the people wondered. But some of them said, He casteth out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils. And others tempting him sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. And usually that's what they always, you can take it on a nigger level, man. When you hear these gangs and whatnot, they'll have like a run, a few months or a few years, and then what happens? Infighting, they get gutted from the inside out. It could be infighting, or it could be bribery through, police or whatever. And that's a division. And what's on more, on a bigger scale, because that's what led to the fall of Rome. All these different kingdoms, the fall of them was the division, okay? Not all of them, but there's a substantial amount, okay? Verse 18, If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. Yeah, if Satan needs to be united in order to that's why you have a thing known as a Illuminati. And what do they have? They have an agenda that's been set in place for hundreds of years, which they're slowly but surely proceeding forward onto. But the only thing is that the Lord has basically blessed them with a blessing, which I'm going to get into, which basically, no matter how well thought out the plan is, it's going to fall on its head because they overlooked the most basic thing, the foundation. Okay. And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your sons cast them out? Therefore shall they be your judges. Okay. But if I with the finger of the Most High cast out devils, no doubt the kingdom of the Most High is come upon you. When a strong man armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. Okay. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he taketh from him all his armor wherein he trusted, and divideth his spoils. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth. So the Lord was the opposing team. The Lord said he made everything in double, basically. Good, and this is the old age war that's being played out from the beginning of the time. Good versus evil, okay, which is a duality in itself. So in the way that Yahweh Shai was working, he was working for the greater good, being righteousness of Yahweh, of the Heavenly Father, okay, Yahweh, and Satan was fighting for the left-hand side, okay, of evil. So the Lord, that's why the Lord made it distinguish that he that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me, he scattereth, because it's good versus evil, the righteous versus the wicked, okay. So moving on, Daniel's 2:40, and the fourth kingdom. So this is going into prophecy, okay. Yahweh Shai made showed you that a nation divided against a power, basically the people divided against themselves shall not stand. And this is the kingdom that we're presently in. We're presently in pertaining to this prophecy, okay, we're in the resurgence of the Roman Empire, the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, with a great division, not being as strong as it was before. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron breaketh all things, shall it break in pieces and bruise. That's talking about the Roman Empire, because they're a great military force. They were known for their power, okay, through their military force. So that's how they're able to subdue the greatest amount of land pertaining to any kingdom at that time, okay. out of this prophecy, because as you go through the quality of the metals in terms of their preciousness from the top to the bottom is great, but in terms of their the word I'm looking for, in terms of their man, the density, the strength of that metal, you know, they get stronger and stronger as you go on. So that was in the exchange. It was in order for the the kingdom to be so great and vast, it became greater in terms of strength, but it weren't as as beautiful. The hanging gardens of Babylon and whatnot. Okay, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so that the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. What's the partly strong? You have nations like Germany, the United Kingdom. Do you have the other nations known as the pigs, being Portugal, Ireland, Greece, and Spain? Those are weak within the Union, which is the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns, being known as NATO and the EU. Okay, that's why it's partly strong and partly weak. That also is represented in the 10 toes of this statue. And whereas I saw it miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. That's why you had the great thing a few years ago with Brexit, which is still in the talks of, where basically Britain wants to break off from the EU. All right, they want to go back to being how they were before the treaty that was set in place for all them to come together, the ECC, I believe, European Common Community. I really can't remember it off the top of my head. Forgive me, but reads on. And in these days, these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. And in Salakia, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. That's talking about the kingdom of heaven that's going to be ruled over by Yahweh Shai, and have the governing body of the 144,000 of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and it's going to pertain to the children of Israel, and they're going to rule this world and even this universe, okay, in righteousness. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut off the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpreter thereof is sure. So these things are most certainly going to happen. Now, going into something I mentioned before, basically dealing with these elites, overlook one thing in their whole agenda: the blessing that actually put them in the seat, because they forgot that the Most High set up rulers in the kingdom of men. Okay, and the Most High set them up, and He gave them a key blessing for them, in order for them to sit in their place. Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. So basically Esau, being a so-called white man, when you break down you go according to how the Bible is meant to be taught, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, where you come to the understanding, Esau being born red all over, exalting himself as an eagle, loving to dwell in the wilderness, hunting, loving to have his meat uncooked. These many and ultimately being known, the only nation being identified by a color, or due to the fact that they were the only nation with a lack of color, okay, being that you know, that obvious being the mark of, you know, of Cain, you understand that Esau is a so-called white man today, right? So it said, and Esau said unto his father, "Has thou but one blessing for me? Bless me of Slakia." So he basically was given rulership over the whole earth, but this is the stipulation, so to speak. This was the catch. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So he said, by the sword shalt thou live. So he's gonna live by that sword. That's the way he's gonna implement that rulership over the whole earth. The sword is a what? It's a tool for killing, instrument of your killing. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, being his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, coming in that same spirit of Cain, who is a reincarnation of, who killed his brother in the previous life. Okay, but that's that imminent, you know, that great hatred against Esau, that they even themselves couldn't equate it down to nothing. Like they can't really say what it is. It's just an innate feeling because the Most High put in their spirit to be upside down, basically. Okay, but the point being, it said, and by thy sword shalt thou live, because what we understand is when you read about when Peter smote the ear of Malchus, okay, and the Lord healed Malchus. What did he say? He said, "They that take up the sword shall die by the sword." Basically, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's the catch. So the fact that Esau's been given a sword as an instrument of his rulership, there's a catch to that, man. And even it goes into the Salakia. We even go into the book of Numbers 35 and 33. It tells you about if a man spills blood on the land, by his blood it has to be, you know, that land has to be cleansed. Ezekiel 35, Ezekiel 25 and 12, Ezekiel 35 on down tells you about Esau receiving judgment by the hand of Israel, and also because of all the blood that he's put out there, the Lord's going to bring him onto blood as well. Okay, so basically shows you that the Lord set him up, man, for a big fool. All right, so now I'm going to finish with this to tie it all together. It's Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red. Okay, like I said just before, Esau had his name, his nation was called, his children was called Edom, other one, which means red, because they were the red people. Okay, and that's that same that same horse. Horse represents power. This is talking about Esau's power, and power was given to him from the Heavenly Father, that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And what has Esau done? Is there peace upon the earth? No, because according to his blessing, he's had to wage warfare in order for him to gain more power. And that's what he does. Warfare is being waged non-stop since the onset of his rulership. And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So they're going to kill one another. They're going to kill. So that's that same division that was spoke of in Luke 11, that basically did, you know, Satan being divided against Satan. That sword that they've been given is going to be used against each other. And what's the sword that they were given? The ICBM missiles. Okay, that's why you have Russia and America. At the moment they're at a stalemate. That, you know, they basically, you know, got a proxy war going on. Okay, but they're more than, there's gonna come a day when that button's gonna be pressed by Russia, and Russia's gonna, their missiles are gonna outpace America, and make that whole desolation pertaining to prophecies were written in the Bible, man. The lake of fire. So it says, and they shall kill one another, being Esau, the Edomites, and it was given unto him a great sword. Okay, and that great sword being the ICBMs. So that's, and then when you go to further prove who it is, we read the blessing in Genesis the 27th chapter. So this kingdom is at its end, man. So if you're if this resonates with your spirit, man, Negro, Hispanic, Native American man, or any man, you know, spread out there upon the earth. If the spirit resonates with you, then this is for you, man. It's time to wake up and be ready. You know, really the elector woke up anyway, man. So, hey, it's time to, you know, apply pressure in within your lot. All right. So with that, I pray you're edified. Shalom.